Hey, good morning, YouTube. Again, it's a very dreary, rainy day here in Maryland, and I'm off work again, so we're gonna keep progress going on the Farmall A snowplow here. I want to do a little bit of reinforcing on these brackets here, right in here. I thought about putting some gussets in here and maybe in here, but I think instead what I may do is I'm going to get some steel and tie in on the bottom side here all the way across to this bracket here, so there'll be a flat plate welded across the bottom of this thing. It'll be flat all the way across here. That'll tie these pieces together, and then I'll have some angle we'll weld in this way and this way. Then just the plow frame, and it'll be out of there. But the angle will come down and across, and it will come up here like so, and I'll bolt right there into the drawbar hole. So that'll give, it's not a very good view here. See if I can do it this way. So there'll be basically on an angle like that. So it'll push from these brackets up to the drawbar, and that should give some good positive reinforcement to any forces that are on them brackets down there, and that should take away any issues of that stuff cocking, or because that's what I'm worried about. Any of them bends there kind of folding up and wringing that shaft out of line, and just, you know, and then that would translate all the way down the length of the plow, and it would run the plow, you know, hanging this side or that side past the front of the tractor. So that'll connect them two together, and that actually will make that, because that thing's kind of cantankerous to get out of there if you need to. I had that whole unit off there because I wasn't sure what I was going to get into on this tractor and how good a shape the mower deck was in, and then I ended up everything's in pretty good shape, and I put it all back on, and it kind of flops around and carries on. So with a piece of metal underneath tying it together, that'll make that all one big unit, and then it'll just be two pieces of angle coming up off the back. I got a whole big long section of this 1/4 inch by 2 inch angle left over that'll fit in there perfectly, and I don't think there will be any conflict with the back of the push frame as it articulates up and down, because it only sticks out about 1/2 to 3/4 inch past the brackets there, and I'll keep everything kind of mounted as low as I can. That's why the plate I will actually weld to the very bottom of that thing to keep clearance open there. And it'll also help too, I'm thinking, maybe for hooking stuff up, you get back pulled up to it and let it sit on that little shelf that'll be underneath there, and then you could, you know, where you're trying to get the bolt holes on it, you could pry up and down on it to try and get the bolts in, because the bolts going from the sides there on that side. So, but that's going to be the next step in reinforcing this thing. And so I don't know, there's be 1 or 2 more videos, at least one on reinforcing this push frame, and then I feel pretty confident with it. We'll put a big done stamp on the push frame, and we'll get started on scaling down the plow here, the mold board. So, hey guys, I just wanted to do a real quick, just a quick snippet on some safety. I got in trouble. Mrs. 31 saw the last video, and when I was doing all that metal cutting, I didn't have a respirator on, and I had all kinds of grinding wheel particles and metal dust up in my sinuses, and I was coughing and sneezing, and black stuff was coming out, and so I got in trouble for not having all my PPE on. And so just want to reiterate, you know, today I'll be doing some welding. I've got my welding sleeves on, I got my apron on, it's all flash proof. Gloves, I had them on last time. Really should be wearing longer, thicker gloves for welding, especially with the stick welding because of the heat, but I'll be wearing these. Beanie, keeps stuff out of your, if you had hair, I don't have hair, but it keeps stuff off my head. And safety glasses for when you're grinding. Sunglasses, I use these. They're motorcycle glasses, but either way, they're safety rated for torching. You gotta have eye protection on, but you need to have something tinted. And I don't have it on me, but I keep a dust mask when I'm doing grinding and stuff like that, and ear protection, which wasn't in the video, but I do have ear protection I wear because it gets so loud in here, my ears will be ringing. But I just want to, touch base on that real quick. And you got to think safety. And I got in trouble, and she's right. I should have been wearing a respirator, and otherwise I wouldn't have been coughing and carrying on with post-nasal drip because of all the dust. And God only knows what that stuff will do to you on the inside. I really should have a better air extractor in here for the welding gases and stuff like that, and would probably help with the grinding. And but just safety first. All right, boys and girls, we got all the parts cut for the bracing right on this unit here. It's a whole piece of flat stock I had. That guy will go up underneath here like that, and then my flat pieces, the other pieces, will go on the bottom and come up here to the drawbar, and that'll really tie this bottom in, so as it doesn't get any of this going on working independently. And I think it'll really, with these drop down final drives, it just seems to me with the pressures and the forces going on up there, all focalized back here, it'll puts a lot of stress on there. So I think it'll help tie this bottom end together, along with the braces that'll be coming up. Now, I don't have these braces cut yet, but here's my little gussets that I cut. I don't know if you can see, but it'll get a gusset in there, and here's a lower one, and it'll get one down there, so it'll be bottom, top, and then the bottom braced in along with the piece coming up here. And it'll still be a simple removal process because there's one bolt here, there's one bolt right here, and then the brace that comes back, there'll be a one bolt here in the drawbar. Likewise on this side, one bolt, two bolt, and then a third one here. So 6 bolts, and then this whole unit, if need be, is able to just drop right out of there. So what I'll do is I'll get the camera fired back up here in a second. I'll get everything tacked up, and we'll keep moving on. All right, guys. Here's the braces. I didn't use angle. I had that real nice heavy flat stock here, and and so I just took a little bit of a skinnier piece and T-welded it onto the bottom side, so it'll go butt up there, and bolt in there. Spin that guy up like that. Anywhere we want him. Both sides, and I'll get that welded up. So well, there we go. There's all the reinforcing. Got an upper and lower gusset on that little zigzagged bracket there. And upper and lower gusset on there. And then we have my bottom bracket. And then that guy there comes back to the drawbar. T-braces in, so that gives a lot of stability there. I feel pretty confident now. So go ahead and get her hooked up, and the next step will be cutting the mold board up, lightening it up a little bit, and that'll be it.